What's up guys, welcome to a video on the D21 hard body. Now a lot of things has happened since the last time you guys saw it, including these new lights and various other things on the interior. So I'll just do a quick rundown piece by piece and show you everything that I've done to it. Alright, so first, put in the toolbox. I just put it in here because this is still a work truck and I use it all the time to carry tools and various other supplies. So right after the toolbox, the next thing I did was these Hella 500 FF lamps. So with these, I wire them in, and then I have and I put the switch down here in the cab. Now I had a bit of an issue when I was drilling the hole out, but I can fix that whenever. So right after I put the lights on, I started working on the door cards and the interior. Alright, so with these door cards, I used 1/4 inch thick PVC board that I bought from Lowe's. It was about 25 bucks a sheet. And it was 4 foot by 2 foot. Then I took the original door panels off, ripped them out, used them as a template so I can get all my holes, markings and all that for the handle, window crank, everything. So then after that, cut it out, sanded all the edges to get it nice and rounded, and then I went to Joann's Fabric and bought this Alcantara material. Now this is just a material, there's no foam backing on it. And I used 3M Super Tack 90 spray adhesive, and I bought these nuts and washers at Ace Hardware. And then in order to get these mounted, I used rib nuts on every single one of the OEM locations, and this piece comes off separate. This is a part of the original panel so that I can preserve these angles here. So yeah, that's how I did the door cards. If I have any pictures of the progress, I'll put them right now. Alright guys, so after the door panels, I started working on the headliner. It's the same exact material, the Alcantara. I used the same glue and everything in order to stick the headliner up. Now with the headliner, of course I also did your sun visors. They were a bit of a pain. I used that same PVC material I used in the door cards. I used the same ones to do this. Now I did it in 2 separate pieces. Sorry, lighting. I did it in 2 separate pieces and then glued them together and have the mirror inset like that. Now whenever I was taking the original sun visors apart in order to get the template for this one, there's a little clip that usually goes right here that actually holds the sun visor up and holds it down. Now that clip had broke and you can't really find part numbers for that or anything, so I ended up just coming up with my own solution in order to keep it up. So I went out and bought a piece of aluminum. I think this is 1/8 inch thick aluminum. Then I cut it out, ground it, drilled a hole, and then used the same nuts and washers that I used on the door cards to put that up into the headliner itself, with a nut behind it and a large washer to kind of distribute the load. They're not all that heavy, they're actually pretty sturdy, and it keeps the sun visors up. Now after the sun visors and getting the headliner in, I needed to cut the headliner. So I need to cut it in order to install this 5-pane mirror from Advanced Auto Parts. So yeah, put that up. There's just a couple of brackets that go through here, and there's a little plate that you can screw into the sheet metal. Same on both sides. Yeah. Then After that, as you can see on the driver door panel, same exact thing as the passenger side. Now I have that little strap there because the original handle broke and I'm just waiting to buy a new one. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that. So that's not permanent at all. Now the next thing I did after I did all the upholstery and putting this mirror in was dyeing the OEM gray carpets black. I know on camera they still look like a dark gray, but trust me, they're black. So with these, I used 4 bottles of RIT fabric dye, and that allowed me to get everything everywhere. Sorry, just ignore this junk. Everything everywhere. Oh, and also I used the same Alcantara material to do this little metal piece that went along between the carpet and the window. And of course I used the same nuts. Or bolts, correction, bolts. So yeah, dyed the carpet. That was quite a process. I don't think I have any pictures of the progress. If I do, I will include them in the video. Now I also did the center console armrest in the same Alcantara. And after all that, the last thing I did was install this fire extinguisher. Now to mount the fire extinguisher, I just used a bracket I found on Amazon, but it wouldn't fit this extinguisher. It was just a little too wide on the neck and on the body. So what I did was I cut it in the middle and moved out the 2 rivet points further apart, and also took the angle grinder and grinded this down a little bit, and then bolted it through this little brace that goes along in the cab. So this simply goes in like this. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. So it latches like that and goes down. That's it. That won't go anywhere. And I use the same rib nuts that I used along the doors to mount that. Alright guys, so that'll wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions about anything that I've done to it, feel free to ask and I'll make a separate video about it. That'll be all. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.